In this lesson, we're going to create a simple character animation toolkit rig and add it into the viewport. With 3ds Max open, navigate to the Create panel and click on the Helpers option. In the Helpers option, click on the Helpers drop-down list and choose Cat Objects from the drop-down. In order to create a cat rig, we need to add a cat parent object into the scene. It's at this point that we can decide whether we're going to create a rig from scratch or use one of the template rigs available. Click on the Cat Parent button. Scroll the parameters up until you get to the Cat Rig Load Save Rollout. In the list of templates, choose the English Dragon option. In the Perspective viewport, click and drag to create the dragon at the size that you want. I'm going to make mine about this big. Now that we've created the rig for the dragon, we want to be able to animate it. In order to do that, we need to add an animation layer. This animation layer will allow us to place animation on the character rig. With the character selected, switch over to the Motion panel by clicking on the Motion tab in the Command panel. Scroll the panel until you get to the Layer Manager rollout. This is where we can add animation layers. There are two types of layers, an absolute layer and an adjustment layer, which allows you to add relative motion to the underlying animation. To start out, we're going to add an absolute layer. In the Layer Manager rollout, click and hold the Add Layer button. Drag your cursor down over the absolute option. Then release the mouse button to add the layer into the Layer Manager. In order to be able to animate on this layer, we need to switch to the animation mode for the Character Animation Toolkit. To do this, simply click on the red button to switch to animation mode. Let's do a simple animation moving the character's head left and right and maybe have him look up at the end. In the Perspective viewport, click on the English Dragon Head object to select it. Press E on the keyboard to activate the Select and Rotate tool. Highlight the Z axis and rotate the head towards the current view. We're going to use the Auto Key mode for this. Click on the Auto Key button just below the time slider. Now click and drag the time slider to frame 45. Go ahead and rotate the dragon's head so it's looking in the other direction. Drag the time slider to frame 70 and rotate the dragon's head back to the center. Drag the time slider a little further to frame 85 and this time rotate along the x-axis and rotate the dragon's head up, about like this. Turn off Auto Key mode and then click and drag the time slider back and forth along the timeline to see the animation. We've created a very simple animation using the Character Animation Toolkit. If you're interested in becoming a character animator, this is an extremely important tool for you to learn.